Hi folks, welcome to the Hands Tourney. This is an online tournament organized by the French community. We've just had the Swiss rounds, and since I was eliminated, as you can see, I can record the cut, so we have an extended cut. Everyone with at least 3 wins has made it, so we have a couple of buys here at the top, and then the other players play each other for the remaining places in the top 8. And I guess we'll concentrate on this bracket a little bit earlier when there are fewer players. But for now, let's pick one of the games. I guess this one at the bottom looks like it could be interesting. Let's see if it's started. And it has. So we have Feuerbart on the top of your screen playing Martell Lion. This is a bestow deck, as you can see, setting up the Iron Bank without any gold on it. And we have Radek playing Stark Fealty and opening with Winter Reserves and Late Summer Feast, so not blocking Winter Festival. This time hopefully Feuerbart has a few more summer plots. Otherwise things could go quite quickly. We have Grey John, who can of course stand at the beginning of the game, and he has ice, which puts the pressure on immediately, but lots of gold here for Feuerbart, so let's see what happens. Milk goes on Caitlyn. There are some ways, of course, to put the gold on the Iron Bank. There is Unbridled Generosity and the Lannister Chad. That's the one, Cersei's Informer, who can move gold from itself to another card, so that will be the Iron Bank for sure, and then you get to filter your deck a little bit as well with that. And there is no limit, so you can put everything on the Iron Bank. I'm sure there are Begging Brothers in the deck as well, and probably Philly Bottom. That's why the Hound finds himself in the discard pile. So some 2 copies of the Hound. Some damage will be done here in the opening round with that ice, I think, but then we'll see what the rest of the game plan is for Feuerbart. Gains 1 gold, just enough to put Flea Bottom in, and yeah, that can bring in the Hound, so suddenly there is 10 strength on the military challenge, so everything needs to attack here, and still it's not okay. I was thinking maybe there is a way to increase the strength, but no. So Grey John will do some damage. May as well kill the big one, I was thinking, but no, kills the Informer. Yeah, if you put gold on the Informer with Unbridled Generosity, it's like putting it on your card that you eventually want to have gold on, because it can just be moved, and there is some draw involved in that as well, so that's fair enough. And with the Intimidate as well, gets rid of any sort of counter attack, but then with Late Summer Feast it's not that bad even to suffer a bit of a counter attack. Good start, but as you can see with the ice and stuff like that, maybe rush is not really the game plan here, it's more about attrition. So Feuerbart has some time to turn the game in his favor, and he goes for a power challenge immediately. giving a card away in the process, but ends the round on equal terms. Or even ahead, because dominance should be tight here. So the gold is there, and now it's just a question of playing that exchange of information or something like that. If that's in the deck, that has a good chance of blocking the winter festivals. And Radek, yeah, would I'm sure like to get a frozen solid. Pentoshi, only 3 cards in hand, and we have False Spring, so the best one will be going here. Has to be the host, surely. Yep. So that's what the gold is for. And that gets rid of anything, basically. Caitlyn is milked, so can't stop it. You can just remove Grey John. That would have been nice in the opening round as well. Let's see if Radek can keep the pressure on here. Here comes the Swarm, and AC is the first character we've seen with Renown as well. Poof. Okay, doesn't even play Daisy, so we have Sir Jason Mallister instead, also has Renown currently, and White Harbor. That works on any challenge you win, so it could be grabbing some cards. Good news for Hannes is the secret schemes, only 2 cards unfortunately, but better than nothing. And I think the Harris is the reset of choice for him. Wildfire Assault would be nice, but I think it's the Harris, and it's kind of useful, but still a lot of these little characters would survive it. 4 characters, for instance. Even 5, I guess, in theory, if you choose all the little ones. And now there is a card in Shadows, which interacts with Sir Jason Mallister, so he can discard it if he wins a challenge. And we saw earlier, when the cards were revealed, that the Tattered Prince was in hand. So I'm guessing that's the card in Shadows, and it will be brought out before Jason wins the challenge. Ah, Burning Bright brings that host back. So it doesn't trigger just by coming into play from the discard pile, but it will trigger when the Tattered Prince comes into play, and it's enough to win the challenge on defense. And now I think with Jason attacking, something needs to be done with that card in Shadows. If the Hound removes the little guy, or the Steward, yes, he can defend against 5 and win on defense. So that was Lord Anderson's house triggering, of course, from the Hound coming into play. And now the Tattered Prince still survives in shadows. So miraculously Feuerbart defends everything from that position. And Radek goes for the draw, which is a good call. Because if the reset comes now, of course it's going to be a problem. But the one that really does a lot here is Wildfire Assault. The others not so much. I guess the Stranger is kind of interesting. But I don't think that's going to be played in this game. Okay, more Summerplots, so that blocks the Winter Festival. And the Tattered Prince, of course, escapes. Although in this matchup with that Jason there, you don't really have that much flexibility. So we have Arya coming in with a dupe, and there is a card in shadows now. So let's see. Jason doesn't get renown if this card survives in shadows, which could be Bolton Flare, I guess, with all the little guys. It's unlikely, so let's say it's probably Mira. Red Keep to cancel anything really annoying. The gold pretty much unlimited now, going up to 5. And here comes Ricasso with the Bestow, which increases the number for secret schemes and Indorán's name. And this time the Hound just marshalled, which gives 1 gold for the Red Keep in the challenges phase. Ah, should have thought of that. Yeah, it's Shadow of the North. So that raises the claim to 2. And goes back to hand. What do you do here? So Grey John dupe, which is a kind of a spoiler, I guess, that Morgulis won't be played. No gold for the Tattered Prince, so if Jason attacks, now the Red Keep will need to be triggered to defend this. To keep the card in shadows, I mean. And Amber Loyalist added to hand, which is going to be pretty good for Radek. after most of this board is gone. So Feuerbart just defending everything so that the power total doesn't get out of hand. And he has unfortunately conceded here all the challenges and 3 white harbor triggers. Yes, maybe I call that no Morgulis a little bit too early, I guess. If you're going to Morgulis immediately, you could give him a Grey on Amber Dupe, because it will be a dead card. But no, and no other resets either here, so we have Annals with a very big secret schemes, and of course Burning Bright as well. And we have the 2 claimer on the other side, and that easily becomes 3 claim with Shadow of the North. So difficult for anything to survive. I think Feuerbart will need to do that big host play again in the challenges phase, if he can. Some useful stand, a card in shadows. I think we'll see the dupe as well. And then maybe leave the Amber Loyalist for later. Lots of gold, so it's a shame to see it go to waste, but really, how much can you put on the board here that would make any kind of difference? Card hold stops the Renown on the other side, which doesn't exist except for, well, the Tattered Prince, who keeps coming in and out. And here comes the Amber Loyalist, so happy to play him, draw another couple of cards. I think the first thing we'll see here for Feuerbart will be secret schemes. Let's see what his luck is like. So needs to keep some gold. The Arm Bank doesn't work outside of marshalling. Needs to keep 2 for Burning Bright and possibly 2 for the Tattered Prince. If he has Vengeance for Elia, that's not a bad play either. Sir Harry Swift. he can move that one gold, but I don't think he will, because of he needs it for the red keep. So nothing left for the challenges phase, which is interesting. He has water gardens, which can play one of the I guess the burning bright, and that will be it. Ricasso defends. And he loses Begging Brother and Secret Schemes. Another Secret Schemes would have been nice in taxation here, or at the beginning of the next round. Still has Induraan's name to play in taxation possibly, but gold is less of a problem. And now I think possibly Radek has saved the claim race for the military challenge, if he can push it through. So we have to expect the host as well to possibly participate in the challenge. That's 8 strength. So it's already 17 with everything on the board. Okay, 1 stealth. And that's just enough currently, since the host cannot actually trigger as far as I can see. Now, is there a way to save this? No. Just defends with 3. And let's see if claim gets raised here. What are the odds that the last card is Vengeance for Elia? Not sure if Radek maybe knows what it is. We had 3 revealed earlier, but difficult to keep track after a couple of rounds have passed. Okay, so he's not using the red keep. Instead, he uses flea bottom. Now, what is in the discard pile here? Seems like only a Begging Brother, and that's going to be used just to absorb claim here. But of course now you cannot cancel Jason, can you? Or is Jason not in this challenge? Let's see. After you win a challenge in which he is attacking. Now what is stopping this? If anything. So nothing obvious. Jason, Arya, and I think was it Grey John were in the challenge. So nothing that would stop the reaction. Doesn't have any cost. So not sure. Maybe Radek missed it somehow, or there is a bug. Yeah, so they're doing it manually. I wonder if there is anything. So we have a recording if anyone can spot what could have been stopping Jason here. Let us know. But I think it looks like a bug. Yeah, and there is still a card in Shadow, so Jason doesn't get renown because of Shadow of the North or whatever this is. I assume it's Shadow, could be Mira. Of course, the reason I'm doubting it is because he didn't use it to increase the claim even further. It would have returned to hand, so it's a free use. Okay, now we have the Water Gardens bringing in the host. So with Water Gardens and Flea Bottom earlier, was it possible? No, it wasn't possible to defend it because there is no military icon, or there was no military icon at the time. But now he goes for the power once again. Only interested in keeping the power totals close. Ah, and that's a nice touch. Gets rid of the Northern Armory in the process as well. And still pretty decent situation to survive the Harris. And let's see, does anything happen in taxation? He has the gold gaining event, but of course that's that gets rid of the faction card nil for a round, so no secret schemes even if you do get it. And here comes the Harris, this time not blocking the Winter Festival, but it's gonna do some damage and there is some pressure to keep the Loyalist in play. Otherwise gets rid of two of your cards. So let's calculate. Yeah, it's possible to keep 5 in theory, but I think, yeah, that's more realistic to keep the duped area. And Jason, who is doing good work here. Winterfell. That's going to stop any tricks. Could stop the runs game, could stop the threat of vengeance. on the other hand, could do nothing because there is the red kip. And now Daisy, who was in hand from earlier when a Bear Island scout found her, and Caitlyn this time without a dupe. So things are looking pretty good. We have unlimited gold on the other side, but keeping all of it for the challenges phase. And here comes the Tattered Prince. Now, is there anything to spend the rest of the gold on? Hound can come in and out if he wins, which is questionable. And yeah, I wonder if he can bring the host in again. He's done it twice now. One Burning Bright gone, one in the discard pile. The Tattered Prince chosen as the stealth target, so now we have the Winterfell window, and Winterfell is used. Now will the red kip cancel this? Because there is a chance to win on defense possibly. No. And now surely. Yeah. Claim raise to 2. No way to block it. And only the Hound and Ricasso survive this one. And Caitlyn attacks. Ooh. Doesn't want to give him Frozen Solid, so let's see what happens with the other card on the bottom of the deck. So, okay, Frozen Solid won't be coming back. And Daisy is strong enough to beat the Hound if she wants to. And now we'll see if there is anything. No, just stops the unopposed with Ricasso, and the Hound can win 2 challenges on attack, it seems. This time the red kip has nothing else to do, so stops the draw. And now the power has run away a little, so it's 7 plus the 2 for Winter Festival, which is inevitable. Let's see if there are any tricks. Stark usually does not have any, so Hound wins the power challenge. He's going to come back to do the military challenge. And still he can come back if he wants to. Usually you don't want to keep the Hound on the board, but with just Ricasso in play, who knows. Wonder what the last plots could be here. And no runs game. So 8-3 it is. Feuerbart down to his last plot because of Behest earlier, and it's alone. Okay, you don't really care about that with the huge Iron Bank. Unless, of course, Frozen Solid gets played, and we have Duel on the other side, which does nothing. And it's not a winter plot, which helps a little bit from Feuerbart's perspective. Bit late for the host. Would have been huge the previous round. Still not bad with Ricasso, and then be hasting to do Harris maybe next round. Yeah, Radek is not very fast as far as gaining power is concerned, but he is dominating the board even in a long game, which is difficult to do against Martell. Well, 3 cards in hand. Anything useful? No, finishes his challenges. But he did use the water gardens. Now, is that bluffing, or is there some kind of threat here? Guess it threatens Vengeance for Elia, kind of, but then you do have Winterfell. And Caitlyn, of course. So this one is safe from any tricks. And if Feuerbart follows the previous game plan, is he going to just defend this one? Yeah, he doesn't have that much time. 17 minutes remaining. So at some point there will need to be a comeback. Red keep stops Winterfell. And still that discount from the water gardens not used. Oh, although I guess that's not really anything to worry about because there is 11 gold, so whatever. But the biggest difference, of course, is that Vengeance can be played. Septum Ordained, that's going to protect Arya against the Harris, possibly. Host gone, and Feuerbart takes dominance. And now we'll see if Radek hurts himself with the last plot or not. I'm guessing probably not, although except for duel, no real reset played, so either he isn't playing one, or we'll see what it is right now, and I'm sure it will be behest on the other side just to see. Yeah. And he does hurt himself a little bit. So let's see what behest does. I think he's going to keep the summer plots for... no, for blocking Winter Festival, I was going to say, so he does have another one. So what now? Arya, Loyalist and Daisy, or maybe Caitlyn. Losing one of the, or two of the four costers probably here. Okay, went in a different direction, so keeps Caitlyn, Jason and the Steward. That means he will need to discard two cards for the Loyalist. And he has a couple of useless ones, so not really a problem. And Summer brings Daisy back. Yes, she does have printed cost lower than 2, or printed strength I should say. And Arya coming back as well, so 12 minutes remaining, still a pretty dominant board. One more to Harris to go, possibly. And doesn't seem like there is much chance of a double Duran's game, which is the main source of power. Any renown is blocked anyway with Carhold, so Feuerbart I think would just need to win by getting rid of the entire board. I'm not sure if that's realistic in his other games, but it's certainly not happening here. Host coming back. And now let's see. No tricks, just defends. Which lets the Hound escape. That gets him around ambush as well on the power challenge. Ambush, I mean stealth. But only if he survives the intrigue, let's see. And he comes back. Yeah, with Winterfell or Caitlyn not used, there was a chance to use the host here, but the Hound is not big enough to remove Septa. And that's a pretty good result here for Feuerbart. An event that he has no real use for at this point. This is the one that really hurts here. And claim raised as well. That's going to take 2 away. Jason cannot gain renown currently because of car hold. And Radek takes dominance as well. Hound in hand, along with 2 other cards. Gold is unlimited, but yeah. No resources here to really come back. Secret schemes, I think there is 1 left. And now here comes that foil spring again, using it when only 3 cards are available, so that's going to take the best one. And even though Harris now with Septa doesn't really hurt that much. The Hound goes. And the other 2 cards were Sir Harry Swift and Duran's game, and I think Sir Harry Swift is already dead. So that's unfortunate. And this time there is a winter plot. So yeah, I think with the claim raise and the renown on Jason, no way to defend against this one. So very nicely done for Radek here, who makes the top 8. And we'll see how the other games have concluded. So you can join me in the top 8 game in a few minutes.